Okay, let me check if the audio is ready. We are doing another end of day debrief. It's been a couple days, but 1 second, let me reposition my mic. It's been a couple days, but I was like, might as well, right? Nice. Okay, today's topic. So, which end of day debrief is this? Is end of day debrief number 36. Wow. I don't remember when we did our last one, but it's been a couple of days. But what I want to discuss today is, for this end of day debrief, is when times get difficult, what do you do? That is the question that I want to discuss today in today's end of day debrief, because things have been getting difficult. It's been an interesting ride. And yeah, it's been a while since I did one of these, so I just wanted to come back online and just discuss today what I've been thinking. And today's topic, it's going to be, when times get difficult, what do you do? And that is a great question, honestly. That is a question that is been on my mind. You know, things have been difficult for sure. YouTubing and streaming is definitely quite a challenge, to say the least. But it's not just that. It's just like, just when things in life get difficult too. It's not just streaming. This applies to a lot of things. Like, when do you decide to quit? When do you decide to keep on going? When do you decide to keep on pushing? Especially when things get tough. Because when things start to get tough, that's when it's like, I think it's like the big factor in deciding, okay, should I continue? Is this worth it? Is it worth the sacrifice? Is it worth the suffering? Or is it something that I don't think is going to pay off? Is it something that I don't think will be worth it in the end? So is it really worth continuing? Should we move on to something else? These are these are things to consider, because this is quite serious, you know? It's not serious, but like when I go into my end of the debriefs, I like to talk about what I'm feeling more and what real implications I am facing and trying to consider, because you know it's real life at the end of the day. This is not just about playing games and just logging on and doing that. It's about what do I want for the future? What do I see? Is there a future? Is it going to be in something else? Is it going to be in this direction? I cannot tell you, but what I've noticed from trying a lot of things, you know, I've tried a couple of things in life. I wouldn't say an insane amount of things, but I have tried a couple of things for sure. And definitely one of my biggest factors when facing these things is when things started to get difficult, I would typically end up quitting. Because when things get difficult, obviously, that's when things start to get, you know, frustrating. They start to get, you start questioning yourself, saying, oh, is this really something that's worth my time? Because when things get difficult, it's annoying. It's difficult. You know, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of sacrifice. So you start to question yourself. And those are usually the times I start to quit. But I think during those times, it is the most important to keep on pushing. Because if you really want to be successful in life, if you really want to reach a certain point within a certain area, you're going to have to face difficult times eventually. It is not selective to individuals. Everyone will face it. You can't escape it. Things will eventually get difficult, because here's the thinking. When you start something, and especially when you start something new, it's probably going to be difficult. Why? Because you've never done it before. You don't know anything about it. It's going to be essentially, the best analogy I can give, right, is like you're level 0 and you're going into a, let's say, starting a new thing, a new career, a new job, a new whatever it is, and that thing you're facing is going to be level 10. Okay. And then, so you're level 0 and it's going to seem impossible to level up. It's going to seem impossible to get through these, what's it called? it's going to be really hard to level up and everything because you have no base armor, you have no base stats, you are technically in your weakest form. So it's going to be terrible. But that's the moment when you got to start pushing the most because you have no base. So to build a base, you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to build up. And that's going to get uncomfortable. But if you manage to do it, if you manage to get through it, then let's say you fight some level 1 mobs and then you kill them and then you go and you get some more EXP. Now you're like level 1. Now things aren't necessarily easy, but you're getting to some sort of base because you're so behind. You're so behind, and then you continue towards that base, and then suddenly you even though it's so difficult, it's so hard, you just say, you know what, I'm just gonna push through it because I want to get to the next level. So then you keep pushing, you keep going, and then eventually, without you even knowing, you're level 3, level 4, level 5. And before you know it, you're able to get to level 10. And now you're able to take on that level 10 boss. And like, wow, I came a long way. But necessarily you didn't. You didn't come a long way. You came... That journey was necessary though. That journey is necessary because now you can fight to level 10, right? And now you beat the level 10. But now you have to understand, now the game unlocks. So that whole beginning part was just a tutorial. It was no... You weren't really facing anything. So now you get to start. But this is what is required. This sacrifice is what is required. Because especially if you're just very average person or below average or whatever, you're not born out of the womb, let's say. You're not just born instantly and you can do like a billion different things. You're super talented. You're most likely going to have to work at it. Because you're not going to be good to start with, which is fine. That's the thing. That's the great thing about this, is that you can become good at it. You just need to work, and you're going to have to work harder. Work harder than some other people as well. Because some other people may get things faster than you, but that doesn't matter. You have to deal with your own life, and you're going to have to maybe take some extra time. Maybe take some extra sacrifice. That's just what it takes for you individually and for myself to get through this. So I would say, like, when facing these difficult times, it is difficult. It sucks. It definitely sucks right now. I'm not gonna lie, like, even though I feel like I've gotten to level 10 with the channel, with YouTubing, even though I know nothing about YouTubing, streaming, or anything, I feel like I have gotten to at least level 10. But that's kind of just a tutorial. It's like, now we gotta go to level 20. And it's like, it never ends. But that's just part of the journey. You know, it's like, especially if you want to get better, if you want to get really, really good at something, it's not going to be just a walk in the park. You're going to have to reinvent yourself. You're going to have to work extremely hard, and you're going to have to improve yourself, not just working hard. If you just work hard, there's no guarantee that you'll get results. But that working hard is like a prerequisite. One of the things you need for sure. But there's definitely a lot of elements to it. You have to try different things. You have to be adaptable. You have to be willing to communicate properly, because in the real world, you're going to be dealing with a lot of people. And when it comes to people, you have to know how to communicate with others. You have to know how to talk to others. You have to know how to balance all these things. And you're not going to know at the beginning. Well, most of us aren't. You're not going to know. And once again, we're going to most likely be starting at these new endeavors, these new things at level 0. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to seem impossible. But that's the question of the day. It's like, what do you do when things get difficult? I think it's really just like pushing on. I think the thing I've been missing has been to, you know, I've been stopping. I've been abrupting progress. It's like you're about to reach that next part, but to get to there, it's going to take a lot out of you. And I always say, is it worth it? And then I end up quitting. But that you know, difficulty, that trial and tribulation you face is necessary for the journey for you to get through. So I'm still learning, you know. I'm still learning, but I don't really know. It's just a lot. it's a lot, and then it's like you just don't know. You don't know like when things will take off. You don't know if it's gonna be worth it. You don't know if this is like, is this even worth my time, type of thing. But it's like my story once again. It happened. I started streaming because it was something that I was passionate about. It was something that was like it was not the first thing on my mind. It was more like the last, to be honest. But I do like, because I think when you go into something, you should have something you like about it at least, or some type of passion, some type of goal. Like when I came into this, the thing that I gravitated towards the most was being able to build something that's my own, and to be able to build my own brand. Because once again, I wanted to be like my own boss and stuff, but like this stuff is easier said than done, for sure. It's not something that you just wake up and say, oh yeah, let's just do this, just make this thing, make millions of dollars, and just get a great community and just start off everything, become top of the world. That's not how things work for most people. For like the 99% of people, that's not how most things work. Now, what's going to happen is you're most likely going to start something new. You're like, wow, I'm really into this. And then you're going to fail. And you're not just going to fail once. You're going to fail a lot. Like an insane amount. And then what you need to do when you fail is you're going to have to get back up and do it again. And you're going to have to do it not just for one day, not just for, a week, a month. You're going to have to do this for a long time, like years. And every day. And saying, are you willing to do that? And me, honestly, no. But how can I say I really want it then if I'm not willing to face these trials and tribulations without, what I'm trying to say is like, you can't keep running. You can only keep running for so long if you really... I feel like I lead to my own frustration, because to get to the point that I want to be at is going to require a lot of sacrifice and a lot of hard work that I don't want to face, and I usually tend to avoid. And I feel like, because I get into the mindset, like, is it really worth it all the time? It's like, I feel like this is a waste of time. I don't really want to invest these 3 to 5 years, 10 years into something that, maybe is not going to work out and stuff. But sometimes that's what's going to be required, I feel. And that's kind of how I look at the channel. This is quite an anomaly. How I got to this point in my life, I don't even know. I'm streaming every day trying to make videos. I don't know what I'm doing. I created the Fruitler brand with these 5 random employees. I don't even know how to draw. But I just went out on a whim and did it just to try things out. And I'm kind of in a stasis of, I don't really know. I'm in the place where I've been facing a lot when I enter any career, is that, okay, now things are getting really difficult. Now I'm second guessing myself. Now I'm self-doubting. Now it's all this. And honestly, with streaming, it gets in your head bad. It really does, because streaming is something very unique, not traditional. If this was something else, maybe it'd be like a more defined career, I guess. It could be, I could map it out more. It's like doctor, lawyer, or something. Well, the typical ones, but like even like a plumber or any of those trade school jobs, like you can at least like get a better picture. But this one's more unique on whether determining if it's worth it or not, because it's like, what is it? What is streaming even? What is the purpose? What is the goal? Which I question myself, because you want to add value to society and to yourself and all these things. You want to add value, especially with what you do. You want to try and understand that. But I just been having a really hard time finding value in a lot of these things, because I don't find them necessarily like the most impactful at times. But I think it's just like defining what I want to do, where I want to go, and how I'm going to get there. So the reason I keep going on with this channel is because I don't really have anything to do right now. I don't really know what to do. So this is something that I have right now, so I keep going with it. I keep trying. B, it's a good opportunity to, it's the first time I felt like I had something that was my own and that I can build off of, even though it's pretty, the channel's not the greatest. I understand. I don't know what I'm doing. Once again, I don't know a lot. I need to put in more effort too. But to, where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought, sorry. But, oh yeah, it's like saying this is something that I can do, that I can possibly grow into something big, that grow in something that could be mine and representative of me, but then I also have to be wary of how I go about it, because it's easy to fall into traps of, you know, how do I explain this? Going into traps of going down maybe not the best way of raising the channel, because people sometimes they promote negativity to get the channel up, or they'll do like things they wouldn't normally do, but in order to like exchange for views. It's to maintain some morals, it's to maintain some value overall, but that's very hard, especially if you're not getting any views or anything. It's very hard to maintain these things, because you see someone just doing something like maybe not the best, that may not be in like the most positive impact, but it's getting them views. You get tempted to just start copying and going that route. But it's really trying to define what I want this brand to be, not just by tomorrow. What I want to, if I want to grow this thing into something big, it's like, what do I want to see this in 5 years, 10 years? If this was to grow, what do I want this to become? And be something that's, you know, definitely positive impact, something that spreads happiness and stuff. I don't want this to be something that is built off of, the best way I can say is something that's built off of bad. I want it to be built off of something good. If that even makes sense. But sorry, I've been going off tangent this whole time right now. My question of the day was, what do I do when times get difficult? And clearly what I do is I mumble and I go off track. That's what I do when things get difficult. But I don't know. Sometimes it's just like holding these end of the day debriefs just to talk, say how it really is. You get to really hear what Fruitler is like and experiencing at times. Because it's definitely not all rainbows and roses for sure. But I do want to not just put out like this bad energy saying like, oh, he's always like disappointed. It's just hard. It's like, I do want to work on, you know, getting things more positive, better. And that has to start with me. If I want to have a positive impact on others, then I should be positive towards myself and stuff too. Absolutely. And it's just to be mindful. It's just to be mindful both ways. I hope like I try to be mindful of my viewers, and I hope my viewers are trying to be mindful of me. But once again, that's very hard. And that's also not necessarily your responsibility as a viewer. Your job as a viewer is just to enjoy, do whatever you want type stuff. But I just want to communicate what I'm feeling, and that I have thoughts and feelings as well. And sometimes things get difficult. Actually, not sometimes. Things have been really difficult. Obviously, once again, I want to emphasize my life is very good. I'm very privileged to be in the area that I am in. By no means do I take this all for granted. I am super, super lucky, and I know a lot of people out there in this world would, in a heartbeat, change their lives for mine. But it's like I'm in that phase of like, what's next? It's like, okay, I have all this stuff. I have all this. I've been granted these gifts, these wishes, whatever. Now what? I have to make something of it, no? Because to like do nothing in this position that people would literally like do anything to be in and make nothing of it is like super disrespectful, what I think. So it's really just me trying to elevate this all to the next level, taking all this that I've been given and to make it more. But that in itself can be quite challenging, and it's gonna take a long time. Well, how long have I been at this for? I've been at this for like 4 months, which is long, but not that long. 4 months is a good intro time. I'd say we're not so much like a intro. We're not so much into the orientation part of it, but we're not so much into the late game of it. We had a good enough time to get familiarized with the YouTube streaming and all this. But it's really thinking of ideas, thinking of content to do every day. It's difficult thinking of like the audience, how the audience is gonna act. Once again, like live streaming too, a big thing about live streaming is the crowd control. Most inspiring things to listen to while doing laundry. I appreciate that, thank you. But it's like one thing I noticed that is a big thing about live streaming. There's a big mental toll. Like I now realize why a lot of these live streamers, like Twitch streamers and stuff, they start to lose their mind a little. But like they have, they may have their own things they're dealing with as well. But it gives a big mental strain on people because you have to be dealing with others. I don't think people notice this, but when it comes to live streaming, you have to deal with other people. And that can be challenging, dealing with other people. Sometimes you have good encounters, sometimes you have bad. And it's really being able to navigate and how to control a conversation to make sure that things don't get out of control, but make sure things don't get too uptight. In the sense that you want everyone to have a lot of fun, but you want everyone to have a lot of fun within some means. Saying that you don't want things to get out of control. You don't want things to get too rowdy. You don't want people to start going too crazy. But at the same time, I don't want to restrict so much freedom to the point that people are just sitting there not saying anything, just like super strict. And that's going to take it takes leadership, honestly. To be a Twitch streamer, you need leadership because you're guiding your viewers in a sense, especially your live viewers. Because live streaming is way different than making videos. Making videos, you just post it, then you can comment, you can choose to reply or not, and it's pre-milled. But however, a live stream is essentially a live show. You're doing it live. There's no filters, no stops, no cuts. For the most part, it's all there live, and everyone watching you is commenting, interacting live. So you have to be able to navigate all this. So, that's actually really interesting. I just realized, yeah, it is kind of like a leadership. You are guiding your viewers, and your viewers are also helping guide you as well. It's supposed to be a synergistic thing, and that's what I'm trying to get towards. But once again, I'm still learning a lot of things. I'm still trying to define what any of this means. What's the point of this? Should I continue going? Because every day, you know me. If you know me since the beginning, every day I wake up saying, I just want to quit. Let's just delete the channel. Because it gets that difficult at times. It gets that hard. Even though it seems like such a simple thing, it's a big mental strain. Just thinking of ideas, keep on going, especially... Even though I do see some results sometimes, like, I don't want to get too wrapped up in things saying, oh, yeah, I'm not grateful for what I'm given right now. Because for one fact, we are growing. We are growing well. The community's overall pretty good. We have our ups and downs, but things could be a lot worse. I think my start has been pretty awesome. And it's easy to compare yourself to others. Like, I know there's other people out there that they're like, oh, I got 10,000 subscribers, 10,000 viewers. But once again, it's not to focus on that. It's not to compare yourself. If anything, you should be like, congratulations. Let's celebrate that. Let's promote that, saying congratulations, awesome job. And then let's also focus on ourselves as well. We shouldn't be like throwing down each other so much, because I think honestly, when I go on the internet, it gets very negative. It's not about like collaboration and stuff. It's about competition. It's about putting down others at times, because that gets views a lot. But it's like, is that what I want to see all the time? No, it gets annoying. It gets annoying, and it just ruins the mood. But then it's like, then I should put out what I want to see. And then I do admit, I don't think I've been doing the best job at that. There's some times that I do feel not the greatest. That I'm not the most energetic, not the most positive at times. Sometimes like, man, I just really just don't want to go online, but I'm just doing it just to focus on consistency and discipline. But because I've been trying. I really have been, but I know I have a lot of catching up to do. It seems so difficult right now because I haven't invested a lot in my earlier self, I felt. So now it's time to play catch up. So things will be difficult. If you slack off in life, it will catch up to you. I guarantee you. It's catching up right now to me. If you slack off, if you don't work hard, you're going to be done for later. And you're going to have to work way harder, especially if you want to change your life. So that's the saying, hard work is never wasted. It really, really isn't. I guarantee you it's not, because hard work, it always sticks with you. You always have done the hard work, but if you never did the hard work, you have nothing with you. If you at least did it, maybe it's not in the right direction you want to go, but it's actually, it aided in your growth somehow. Whether you know it or not, it did. But if you don't work hard, then you have no base, nothing. Then you're going to have to work hard eventually, and you're going to have to work a lot harder. So I feel like I'm in my catch-up phase right now. And still working on my mentality. I got to strengthen my mental fortitude because it's a lot of stuff to do with the mind. You have to have a strong mental. You have to work on your mentality and just kind of make an iron fortress. Not so much that it's to the point that you're extremely stubborn, not letting anything in, but you have to be able to compose yourself. You have to compose yourself, get your emotions, get your things in order and check. That's not meaning that you shouldn't feel, that you shouldn't, act certain ways, but it's to have more control over yourself and your mind. And that takes a lot of discipline, a lot of work, and a lot of things. But man, yeah, I feel like these end of day debriefs are just me venting a lot, which they are. But it's just to share what I'm going through once again. I just like coming on and just like not having to work, like focus on playing games. I just want to say what's on. This is kind of like the podcast, the Fruitler podcast, where you just get to hear me complain about life and how things like aren't the greatest. Like they're great. It's just part of the process. Because like honestly, if it's me, I'm just waiting. It's like, oh man, look at me. I'm just hoping that one day I wake up, hit 1 million subscribers, and it's like, oh, so easy. Now we just post whatever, and it's so easy. We get views, we get so much money, we get the brands growing. But it's not seeming like that's gonna happen. It seems like I'm gonna have to work very hard. I'm gonna have to grind every day. I'm gonna have to, keep pushing those watch hours, keep pushing the content, keep going. Because what it seems like for me is that it's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna be a long journey, and that's just what my life is, and that's what I need to get through. And that's the thing I keep avoiding, but that's my one factor that I'm missing probably towards success. And it's gonna suck, but it's also gonna be great. So it's something to acknowledge that's gonna be difficult, that I'm not gonna like it, but it's also something to maybe look forward to. That these difficult times, these difficult things are there for a reason, that they're presented to me maybe as an opportunity to grow. Not maybe, they are. They're presented to me as an opportunity to grow. So, that's why I'm holding myself back, because I'm missing these opportunities to become successful. That's why I'm like not at the place I want to be, because these are the opportunities I'm given. Actually, if I think about it, it's like these are the opportunities I'm actually given. I just keep throwing them away. So it's like, when am I going to grow up? When am I going to try and really tackle it head on? Because it's like, if you want to be successful fruiter, you're going to have to get through this. You can't keep avoiding it. Or you can keep avoiding it, but then you can't expect these grandiose things to happen for you if you're not willing to get through the bad and the dirty and the hard times. You can't expect that, because you're gonna have, you're just gonna have to grow through this. But I'd be lying to say if it wasn't if this isn't really difficult. And every day I want to quit. But I'm gonna keep going. I feel like I should put down more deadlines. By August, I want to reach at least. I said to get monetized by August would be insane, but we've gotten very far by August. I say the most realistic goal I can set for me now is that by the end of the year, if I can continue for the end of the year, the goal would be to be able to get monetized by then. It would be to be able to get 1,000 subscribers and to get to 4,000 watch hours. That'd be my goal. And I think that's going to be a really tough push, but I think that would be doable for sure. It would definitely be doable, but it's going to be tough. And it's been a wild ride once again, but it's going to be a slow progression. It's going to take a lot of, once again, just a lot of discipline, a lot of trying, a lot of everything, because what's it called? What's the saying? Where like good things don't come easy or something? I forget. Nothing good in life comes easy or something. I don't know. But it's saying that if it's easy, it's probably not worth doing. Like if it comes to you just like nothing, it's probably not worth doing. Like to get to the next step to where you want to be that success you want to see, it's gonna require sacrifice. It's gonna require more than you can chew. But that's just life, and you're gonna have to choose eventually whether to face that or not. And I think hopefully I'm deciding right now I'm gonna face it. I'm gonna suck it up. I'm gonna try and get through it. I'm going to just try my best and continue to grow, hopefully. Yeah, because this is interesting times. But if you really want to get to the next step in life, if you forget the next step in life, if you want to become a better individual, if you want to just focus on yourself. Once again, I need to focus on me. If I want to get to the next step, if I want to get to the level of success I want to be, if I want to build this brand into something big, I'm going to have to sacrifice. I'm going to have to give more than I can give. And it's going to be extremely difficult. There's going to be times it's going to feel impossible, but you're going to have to get through it somehow. And that's going to be kind of what it's going to take. It's going to be, the mentality's got to shift. It's got to be like, oh, I don't know if this is possible. It's got to be, the shift in mentality has to be, okay, how are we going to get this to work? I don't think the mentality should be a thing that's like an option, saying, oh, I don't know if I can do this or not. That's giving you the option saying yes or no, it's possible. You can go forward or walk away. The rearranged mentality should be, how am I going to get through this? Because that is more the mentality forcing you, saying, okay, we're sticking with this no matter what. And we're going to try and figure this out. Try and attack this from every angle. Try to just get through it. And then just really, and then you would be surprised how far you can go. It's like you're just surprised how far you can go with that. Even if you don't manage to, what's it called? To get to that point, that next step that you were looking for, it's going to at least be enough to, you at least grow within the process. And now with that growth, you have a new base. You have a new base, and with, like, before you know it, it's like, before you know it, you just grow so much from the past you, just because you're putting in more effort, just because you're trying more. And that definitely means a lot, for sure. That means a lot. But it's definitely gonna be a battle. We're just getting right into the storm. I don't think I've even reached the hard part yet. It seems like the hard part, the streaming has been really hard and stuff, but I feel like this is really just the beginning of the test and trial, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna have to buckle up and get ready, because now it's gonna be lift off, take off, really taking things to the next level, and things are really going to get difficult now, but it's all going to be part of the journey, part of the plan, part of the process. You have to eventually tackle these hard, difficult challenges eventually if you want to grow. So to summarize all this, the topic of the day was, what do you do when things, what is it? The topic of the day is, what do you do when things get difficult? Oh, the topic of the day is, when things get difficult, what do you do? And I think I've come to the answer of, you push on. When things get difficult, you push on. And you keep on going as far as you can get. Because if you really want to get to that destination, if you really want to get to that next level, I don't think it's going to be walking backwards and going behind or staying stagnant. It's going to be, you're going to have to move forward somehow. So, yeah. When things get difficult, what do? You keep going. You keep going, and that's what I'm going to try and do. For now. That's what I'm going to try and do to keep pushing the channel. Keep on going. And yeah, it's going to be hard, but that's just life. That's just life, but yeah, I think that's a good place to stop for now. I said what I needed to say. These end of day debriefs get a little more intense. These are the more what I'm thinking type of days. The end of day debriefs, these are more serious conversations, the real life conversations. This is to show that everything's not rainbow and roses. This is sometimes what I feel, what I'm facing, and what I want to get through and just discuss. Kind of like the Fruitler podcast, but yeah, this is why I don't hold these all the time anymore, because they get a little more intense. But it's needed sometimes just for me to decompress, and also maybe people can relate somehow. If people can take something from it, or like they're like, oh, I'm going through that as well. They don't have to feel alone sometimes. It just to put that out there as well. But yeah, today I just want to do an end day debrief. I don't know when I'll hold the next one. We'll see, but yeah, it's just to keep pushing on. Especially if you don't know, just keep going. Just keep on going. But yeah. I think I said what I needed to say, or at least I said what I wanted to say for now. I feel better. I feel better for sure. So I don't mean to scar so many of my viewers right now with such a change of topic and subject. You can see me probably playing balloons, and then the next thing you know, the next stream is me just saying, like, he's like, what is this guy going on about? But yeah, I just like to keep things real sometimes. Once again, this channel is a different type of channel. I try to make it embody more of what I want to see, and what more of myself, you know? So yeah. I think I'm gonna end it there. Once again, I always like to end these end of day debriefs by saying, I hope y'all stay safe, stay healthy, and once again, I thank you all so much for all the support. It means a lot to me. We're still growing. We're still very small, but we're small and mighty. We're still growing, but it's gonna be a long time. But I'm gonna try to invest more time and effort into this, and yeah, thanks again so much for your support. I'm always so appreciative. And till next time. But thank you all so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye bye, everybody.